What's up guys, and welcome to Mass Effect Talks. This Mass Effect Talks is actually not going to be about the races. I said that this one was going to be about the Asari, but that's going to be next week's. This week, today I'm not going to do one on the races just because I already have the information for something else that I want to do. It's what we know so far for Mass Effect 3. And I thought that it would be a good time to put this all out. It's a lot of stuff. And it's just information on what we know so far for the single player and what we know so far for the multiplayer. And this is not including the information that was leaked not long ago. When it comes to like the storyline and script and all that. I know it's floating out there in the internet and I'm just avoiding it at all costs. I don't want to know anything about the storyline or anything that Bioware doesn't tell us. Or anything that we're not going to know already, like the beta. I went ahead and I saw the beta when it got leaked. But just because we're gonna see it in January anyways, it's not a big, huge piece of like information or spoiler. There are very tiny spoilers in the beta leak. It's not that big of a deal. So, but still, I'm not going to be including hardly anything from the beta because, like I said, there's really not that much that is revealed on there. There's a little piece of the beta that I'm using. But it's just like, it doesn't have anything to do with the storyline. It has to do with, like the gameplay. And I'm also incorporating a little bit about the multiplayer with the beta leak. But again, it's just mostly gameplay. If you don't want to know anything about Mass Effect 3, then don't watch this. But again, this is just stuff that Bioware has announced, or things that have to do with the gameplay for Mass Effect 3, things that we know so far, but no big spoilers on here, so don't worry. So I'm pretty sure this goes without saying, but let me just say it anyways. Please keep the comments spoiler free, just out of respect. I'm still going to make the comments private so that only I could see them. And any that have spoilers, like big storyline spoilers, like people that probably have read the pieces of the script or pieces of those leaked information, I'm gonna delete. So, but please avoid it anyways, because I really don't want to read spoilers either. So please, please, please don't keep the comments spoiler free. I just had to say that before I started because I don't want you guys to be like, oh my god, I'm not gonna watch this video because it's got spoilers in it or anything like that. They're really not spoilers. These are things that Bioware has announced, or pretty much things about like the gameplay. Because I have been getting a lot of questions regarding Mass Effect 3. So I just wanted to make a video where I compile everything that we know so far regarding the single player and then the multiplayer. First of all, we know that you could import your Mass Effect 2 Shepard, and I believe your Mass Effect 1 Shepard as well. But, I mean, why would you import your Mass Effect 1 Shepard if you haven't beat Mass Effect 2 with it? So, yeah, just import. You could import your Shepard for Mass Effect 2. If your Shepard died in Mass Effect 2, you can't import a dead Shepard from Mass Effect 2. But Mac Walters, the lead writer, said that there was like a special scene, something like that, for characters for Shepards that died in Mass Effect 2. And I was like, what? What does that mean? Does that mean that I really don't know. So they're planning something. It's not just going to be like, oh, well, your Shepard is dead, create another Shepard. It seems like they're planning something so that you could either use that Shepard again, the one that died, or I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, but I think they're going to incorporate that whole if your Shepard died in Mass Effect 2, they're going to incorporate it somehow into the story so it makes sense. But you will have to create a Shepard again, and why or how or what to make for it to make sense, and not just like, oh, well, create another Shepard, and you're just like a new Shepard all of a sudden, like a clone or something. So hopefully they're gonna make it fit with the storyline. This information that I'm gonna talk about right now is from the beta, but it all has to do with gameplay. You could start with three options. They give you 3 options. Why they did this, I don't know. If this is strictly for the beta, I don't know either. They might get rid of this in the actual game, but it kind of looks like they're going to keep it. It gives you 3 modes to choose from. You could either choose action mode, and what that is for those of you that really just like the action of the game, just want to focus more on the shooting and not so much on the RPG. It says that it's emphasized on action and combat and minimize story management. Action mode will set automatic replies in conversation and a normal difficulty. I don't know why they did this, but yeah. And then there's also story mode. Story mode is for those that prefer the RPG elements, the story, and they're not so good at the action, like people that just want to know about the story and the RPG options, and they're not really good at like the shooting or anything. It says for those who want to emphasize story immersion and minimize combat pressure, story mode will set manually selectable replies in conversation and a minimal combat difficulty. And then there's RPG mode, which is pretty much the mode that has always been set for Mass Effect, where it's a mix of both. So you could still play Mass Effect the way that it's meant to be played and the way that you've always played it, but you have to choose the mode now. That would be RPG mode. I don't know why they did this. I really don't know why. I mean, this game is meant to be played this way. If someone is a shooter, why would they even be playing this game? You know, if they really do want to play it, then play it the way it's supposed to be played and not have it. I don't know. Hopefully they get rid of that. If they don't, it really doesn't bother me as long as I could play it the way that it's meant to be played, which is this RPG mode. But it's just weird that they added that. Hopefully it's just for the beta, but you could still customize the look of your character even though you imported an existing character. Shepard starts off without his rank anymore. He's not a commander. This we've known. Bioware has said this, and it's pretty much kind of alluded to in the downloadable content for Arrival. So Shepard does start off. He's grounded, and he has no rank because of the aftermath in Arrival. The game starts off with Shepard's trial, also because of what happened in Arrival. So if you haven't played Arrival, it's a big downloadable content, so I would say play it. The game is much more emotional than any of the other games. The Normandy is now in the hands of the Alliance. It's no longer Cerberus. The Alliance completely stripped it from all of the Cerberus bugs, and they remodeled it, so there's different areas in the Normandy, different aspects to it because of the Alliance refurbished it. It's now Admiral Anderson's ship, because Anderson is now an admiral. I believe he became an admiral towards the end of Mass Effect 2, depending on what you chose, but he becomes an admiral anyways, because he's now he's referred to an admiral in the books, and it carries over to Mass Effect 3. So he's not a captain anymore. He's an admiral. But the Normandy is now his again, because it used to be his before he gave it to Shepard. So while Shepard is in the brig, or getting ready for his trial and all that. Now again, this is This whole thing is in the beta, but it's nothing new because BioWare has already talked about this. So I don't consider it a spoiler. The game will be, Mass Effect 3 will be slightly longer than Mass Effect 1 and longer than Mass Effect 2, a little bit longer than Mass Effect 2. Vehicle exploration may return, so kind of like Mass Effect 1, your Mako, or not sure if they're thinking about the Hammerhead from Mass Effect 2. The levels are going to be bigger. They're trying to give you a feeling of how big the problem is and how crucial it is. They're harder. The enemies are harder. The conversations will be more cinematic. The Liara and Atheta, the bartender from Ilium, the Asari bartender, the whole storyline thing with them where it's like, is she Liara's father? That they're actually looking into that, into finding a resolution to that. So they're most likely going to address that. Mass Effect 3 will most likely not end on a good note where everybody celebrates at the end. So, I mean, it is a war story, so we should be expecting pretty much anything right now. I talked about this back when Gamescom was happening in Germany. Due to a specific answer that Mike Gable, I think his name is, Mike Gable gave in Gamescom, he gave an answer that was pretty much left to interpretation, but you could tell that he kind of like, he let the cat out of the bag for a split second, and he just like fixed it like right away. He was like, he like tried to fix it so that people wouldn't catch it. But given an answer that he gave, because BioWare hasn't been very, they've been avoiding the question about Tally's face, whether they're going to show Tally's face or not. But because of this answer, it's almost certain that they will be showing Tally's face. This I'm pretty excited about. You will be able to have more hangout moments with not only your love interest, but your friends, just other crew members. Sort of like in kind of like the scene from Mass Effect 2 where you have that the brandy with Chakwas, like similar to that. The storyline will involve a lot more problem solving. Not everything will be so clear as to what you have to do. That's one thing that I've been hearing a lot about, that BioWare has been saying, is it's not going to be very clear as to whether things are good or whether you're doing something that could turn out to be bad. So it involves more problem solving than the rest of the games in 1 and 2. This next one ties to what I was just saying. The options that seem to be Paragon sometimes have consequences. They turn out that they weren't the best choice. The RPG elements in Mass Effect 3 are stronger than the rest of the games. There will be more hair options to customize for your Shepard, especially long hair, because long hair, due to the graphics, available during Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2, it wasn't very easy for them to get long hair into there. So now you will see more options for longer hair for your Shepard. The confirmed returning characters, these include squad mates, temporary squad mates, cameos, but of course, unless they died in Mass Effect 2, you won't be seeing them. But these are confirmed characters, and these have been confirmed for a while now, so this does not have to do with the beta. If you're like, oh, you just freaking released something from the beta, I didn't. This has been confirmed by BioWare for a long time now. So these are the characters that are returning: Garrus, Zaid, Jacob, Rex, Liara, Legion, Thane, Tally, Calrieger, Ashley or Caden, Samara or Morinth, Kirahi, Miranda, Joker, Anderson, Jack, Grunt, Admiral Hackett, Kasumi, Morden, Udina, Edie, Kelly Chambers, The Elusive Man, Dr. Chakwas, Arya, Conrad Werner, and Blasto, the Hanar Spectre. These are the ones that I found. There might be more. I'm pretty sure there may be more, but these are the main characters that are going to be returning. The ones that we know. I've also heard talk about the biotic god, the little Volus, that he's going to be returning. So yeah, they're all going to be returning in some kind of way. But they have said that almost every Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 character that stood out will be returning.